Okay, this is the first dry run, test. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tech Sergeant Gene Miles, and I'm going to again inform you of the history of the Army and Air National Guard and how it has evolved through today. We will cover its history, various parts of its mission, and various statistics. Did you know that we had a constitutional militia within the U.S.? Please allow me to explain. The Army Air National Guard was known as the Constitutional Militia back in 1636. The Army Air National Guard was known as the Constitutional Militia, located in 54 states, territories, and D.C. The Massachusetts Bay Colony began its run throughout history and defended the Constitution in many world wars. Today, the community-based force, or the Army, Air National Guard, and Reserve, play a vital role in the nation's defense and serve in many capacities. It is a more robust and versatile force. The President, in conglomeration with the governors of the various states, will respond to many contingencies, national disasters, and civil disturbances. This is just the National Guard Bureau breakdown of how the combatant commanders report to the President of the United States. Congress shall have the power to provide the calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the nation, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. This was executed by what was known then as the Constitutional Militia. Now known as the Army and Air National Guard, this group fought American wars since 1636, following the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, from the French and Indian Wars to the Persian Gulf Wars to Kosovo, not to mention the War on Terror, as you can see here. This is a very versatile and effective force, the most versatile DoD force available to the federal government. They are flexible and capable, quite capable, to handle coming onto active duty from their civilian jobs, working from Title 32 to Title 10. As you can see, the Guard and Reserve makeup. Following this same tradition, the Army, Air National Guard, and the Reserves have become an integral part of our communities. As you can see, this community-based force is divided into various categories. The Air National Guard being at 23%, 106,000 people, and the Army National Guard, the Air National Guard coming at 23%, and the Army National Guard coming at 77%. As you can see, the Army is quite bigger than we are. There are approximately 3,100 Army Reserve National Guard facilities, 88 National Guard facilities, 2,700 communities over 54 states, and as you can see, the range that they make up. As I explained earlier, the Army and Air National Guard, the Army, Air National Guard, and Reserve are a very, very versatile force. They have the capabilities to work in peacetime as well as be called to active duty. As you can see, it conducts state missions, various theater contingencies, national disasters. With this huge active duty history, it supports fire suppression of the various natural disasters that occur, the wildfires, that kind of thing. Weapons of mass destruction, civil support teams, civil disturbances, as well as law enforcement, counter-drug operations. So as you can see with the many examples that I've explained, there are various ways that the Air National Guard can be utilized in today's threat environment. Again, it has a federal mission, the federal mission being called to active duty in Operations Desert Shield, Desert Storm, more particularly Southern Watch, Southern Comfort, and various other contingencies that are going on in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the Horn of Africa today. The Air National Guard makes up more than 66% of the total force that's deployed right now. Active duty forces have been dwindling over the years, and the Air National Guard force has been coming up to speed. It's a definite critical balance. We just recently promoted a 3-star to a 4-star position to become chief over the Air National Guard because of their now new major role within the active duty community. We made it to where they mirror as active duty, and as a matter of fact, using myself as a testimonial, I started out in the Air National Guard and then came on to active duty. Being in the Guard, I was able to work my 2 civilian jobs and come on to active duty when needed. At that particular time, I was coming on to active duty to go TDY to various bases to install copper and fiber cable. This is part of that critical balance. Soldiers and employer relationships come into a critical phase with regards to readiness. In today's military, you have to worry about family, you have to worry about income, and being called to active duty. So this is definitely a critical portion of our total force needs. As you can see how we protect the world, just to give a overview of what I discussed earlier, domestic terrorism, homeland security, information operations are just some of the examples as you can see here. Soldiers and airmen, we have evolved, ladies and gentlemen. We have discovered what the definition of a militia is in the United States. We have discussed its history and statistical information, diversity of its people, and mission. The bottom line, strength lies with diversity of our force, creating a common bond of power. My source for this briefing comes from the Robert D. Gaylor Non-Commissioned Officer Academy located at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas using their resource library. A breadth of information that could be utilized at any time. If we lose freedom here in America, there is no place to escape to. This is our last stand on earth. If we don't protect our ground, there won't be anything left for us to come back to or protect our own. President Ronald Reagan, October 27, 1984. If there are no questions, this concludes my briefing.